welcome to session 2 of Unit 4. And in this session, we'll be looking at physics laboratory management. My name is Patrick Ejay. By the end of this session, you should be able to list the major managerial responsibilities of the physics teacher with respect to the physics laboratory. Explain what is involved in laboratory services and explain the administrative duties of a physics teacher with regard to the laboratory, and describe the physics teacher's role in ensuring safety and security in the laboratory. So let's look at laboratory service. And when we talk about servicing, we are referring to ensuring that the materials you have in your laboratory are in good state and they function effectively. And for that reason, it becomes one of your roles or your managerial roles in the physics laboratory. And in that regard, your responsibilities will include preparation of materials and laboratory apparatus, cleaning of glassware. So, for instance, your thin lenses, your prisms, that is the glass prisms. If these objects or materials are dirty, you must ensure that they are clean. Replacement of broken apparatus during student work in the laboratory. So when during a laboratory session, students drop some of the items and they get broken, it is you, the teacher, who has to fix it if it can be fixed. If it cannot be fixed too, you have to gather it and take it back to the preparatory or the preparation room and bring in a new apparatus for the learner to use if you still have some. And movement of apparatus from and to the main laboratory. So we mentioned that it is in the preparatory room that you do the assembling of the apparatus that will be used during the experiment. And once you are done assembling the various materials, it is your role to bring them from the preparatory room to the main laboratory for it to be used for the experiments that you want to undertake with your learners. And also, you must ensure that the laboratory is always clean. Now, we are not saying you, the teacher, you have to go for a broom and do the sweeping, or you have to go for a duster and be cleaning the louvre, or be taking or cleaning cobwebs from the laboratory. You must ensure, we know it is students who will do, but always make sure you are there whilst they do the cleaning. Always ensure that students come to the laboratory to do the cleaning in order to ensure that always you have a very clean environment. Now, administration. And once you are in charge of the laboratory, you also become the administrator over there. And it is your duty to take inventory of laboratory apparatus and equipment. What do you have? So I have voltmeters, 2. I have vernier caliper, 3. I have this. It is you, the teacher, you have to take inventory of all these equipment. And requisition and receive supplies. So you must have a book for that. Anytime you make a requisition for materials and when those supplies are being made, you must record them. You must also keep breakage record books. So you should have a book that you'll be recording breakages. So you have voltmeter 5, but 10 you have 10 voltmeters, but 5 are not working. You have 10 tubes, plastic or glass tubes that you use for your experiments. And out of these 10, 2 are broken. You should have a book to record these broken ones in them. And maintain a filing system. So you should have a file that will contain the various documents. So for instance, you write a letter for requisition. That letter should be on the file. So that and anytime your supplies are being made and you are giving invoice of these supplies, you keep them also in the file. You should also keep an inventory recording of the apparatus that is taken delivery of or purchased. So you make a requisition for 10 retor stands and they have been purchased. You have to have a book or an inventory to record this in there. Those that you have in stock. So you have 10 meter rolls. You must have a book that you record this in there. And those that are broken, as well as those that are completely used. You must have an inventory for this because in the laboratory, you also serve as the administrator there. And now let's look at maintenance, repair, and construction of equipment. And since you are in charge of the laboratory, sometimes you have to ensure that you maintain the various materials. Those that you can repair, you must do them. Those that you have to improvise, you should construct such equipment. And so you must ensure that the apparatuses such as balances, your accumulators, your voltmeters, your ammeters, they are all working, they are all in good condition. And we know that sometimes you may need to repair some of the malfunctioning apparatus. So this becomes your role to do that. And it may also be necessary for you to construct some pieces of apparatus such as meter rules, potentiometers, periscopes. So you need 20-meter rules, but you only have 10. You can improvise 10 additional ones. So it is you, the teacher, who has to do the improvisation. What of safety in the laboratory? Since you are the manager of the laboratory, you must ensure student safety anytime they come to the lab. And hence, it becomes your responsibility to ensure safety in the laboratory by checking electrical connections. Ensure that all your connections are accurate, they are working. We shouldn't be any kind of connections that may be leading to electrical shocks and other things. Administer first aid. So in the laboratory, maybe you are preparing a heat experiment and hot water should just splash and get onto the skin of your students. There should be a first aid, and it is you, the teacher, who has to administer the first aid. And lock up windows and doors. So always ensure that the windows and the doors of the laboratory are locked when you close from school or when they are not in use. And report deterioration and damage of equipment to the head of the science department. So materials that are not working, damaged materials, make sure you report them to your HOD. Now, students, we have seen in this session the duties and responsibilities of the physics teacher in managing the physics laboratory in a school. And as we bring the session to an end, let us have a take-home. List 2 administrative functions you will exercise in managing the physics laboratory, and name 2 items which an inventory recording contains. I hope you enjoyed this.